Hi guys, Reaper here, thanks for tuning in. So here to talk to you about the Raven Striker, a tech level 10 battleship from the Caldari. Is this thing worth upgrading from the Raven for its 3 or 4 times price tag? We're going to find out. So let's compare the two ships. You can see here we've got identical slot layouts, which means is there that much of an advantage on the attributes? Well, not really. The only difference is 1% bonus per level of advanced large missile and torpedo upgrade, so that's a more advanced skill for starters, which is only giving a 5% bonus to damage from the ship attributes. But here's where we see the major difference. If we compare the overall defense 64k to 102k, that is a significant increase. The Raven Striker being bigger and heavier, slightly slower. We have the same warp time, but the power grid, we've got a massive increase on the Raven Striker. The capacitor is over 3,000 more than what it is on the Raven, which is huge. And then there's a couple of other changes to do with the cargo hold and source radius, which don't really matter so much. Comparing against the Typhoon 2, the Raven Striker has, I would say, maybe a little bit less damage overall. If we compare the overall defense, Typhoon 2 85k, Raven 102k, but then in every other department the Typhoon 2 seems to excel. More speed, it does have less power grid, but that's not so much of a problem, and it does have slightly less capacitor. So this leads me towards a single conclusion that the Typhoon 2 is what you're going to want to use for PvE with its damage application, and for PvP with effective hit points being important and being able to tank as much as possible using, let's say, a triple extender build. I would classify these two ships as a Typhoon for PvE and Raven Striker for PvP. I'm very surprised to be saying that, but when you see these attributes you'll be surprised. So you can see here with this core I've got with max skills being on the test server, over 1400 DPS, which is pretty good without any damage rigs. And here's the big part, I've got almost 90,000 shield hit points. That's similar to a Nightmare, 36,000 armor, and again 36,000 structure again. So that's a whopping amount of EHP. And the more hit points, obviously, the better the extenders perform. We'll go into that in a little bit. Let's go through some of the other stats first. Looking at the targeting on this ship, we've got a signature radius of 415 meters, which is a bit smaller than the standard Raven, and a scan res of 145, which isn't great. The navigation speed is actually pretty good, 184. Not complaining too much there, and actually not a bad warp preparation time of 11 seconds, with a standard warp speed of 2 AU a second for a battleship. The capacitor is certainly one of the most impressive things on this ship. Let's have a look at this core. So I fit the Guristas Raven core to this ship. At the moment, you've got this Raven thermomagnetic storm core available from the Concord Daily or whatever it is event that's going on. I don't recommend getting it because the first attribute, as you can see, this is the, yeah, so from that other one, it affects turrets mainly, but it's a missile ship. I don't know, the whole thing is bloody confusing, but for the time being, yeah, just hold on to your tokens and we'll figure things out as we go along. So yeah, the capacitor on this ship is 22,000. We'll get onto that soon as well. So looking at this, the Protector Large Shield Extender is adding 18.88% bonus to that 88,000 shield hit points, plus the 4718 shield increase from the shield extender itself, equates to over 21,000 shield boosted by each extender, and you can cycle all 3 of them. 3 red hardeners in the low slots, of course, to mix out the damage. In my rig slots, I've got 2 core defense field extender tech 3s, and I've got a anti-EM. And in my engineering slots, I've got 2 semiconductors and a CCC, which is giving me a whopping cap of 22,000. I'm cap stable without, well, I think with just one of those rigs fit, which is astounding. On this ship, I've got all C-type modules just to keep this realistic, as the B-types are going to be expensive for the time being. Mid-slots, this is a PvP ship, and you can mix and match the mids. I would recommend maybe 2 webs, 1 scram, and 1 warp disruptor to have 30 km and up-close tackle and to be able to pin things down. And then you could have a bit of fun and go in as a primary tackle, tanker fleet, and wait for your friends to arrive and have some fun. So we're in space. I've put my hardeners on just to check out the EHP in total, and there you have it. 453,000 effective hit points is astounding. You might be able to get more if you swapped out some rigs and various other things. However, I want to have the maximum shield boosted per extender, which is what I've gone with. We've got a new thing on this ship called Seige Mode, so effectively you're going to hit things, you won't be able to hit things that are moving even slightly. I did test this on a battleship and I reduced my damage by 75% overall, but in PvP you're going to be putting POSs and capsuleer outposts and corporation citadels into armor and structure and things like that. So to be able to double your DPS and do that is pretty good. I like that mode. I'm not too upset with that. It sure beats a sniper mode. Okay, so to test this ship out, I've come to a Neelus tech level 10 dead space, and I plan to get as far into it as I can and get to the one of the last waves, and we're going to see how I perform. The lag is really bad, even though I'm trying to I'll change my graphic settings to the medium settings, and we'll get there. But you can see here my cap is now lasting 39 minutes and 40 seconds. That's with half of the recharge time, so that's almost cap stable with that 50% nerf from being in Nilla space. I fast forwarded a bit here. There was 3 or 4 waves that I've taken out already at this stage, and there are a couple of Serpentis Vindicators, so I've got 2 Vindicators wailing on me at the moment, plus about 10-15 other battleships and several crew. Well, it's like a whole wave here, and I'm tanking, quite frankly, like a boss, which means I think this ship will do a tremendous job in PvP. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Again, the Raven Striker does have a purpose. This is more a PvP vessel, and the Typhoon 2 is a PvE monster. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.